Mm, okay. I think you have to give me the permission for record.
Right. Check now.
Yeah, great. So,
Yeah.
guys, now we are starting. Just I want to click a quick picture. Just turn on your video cameras, and now we are starting after this. Quickly. Okay. I guess that's it. Okay. I'm clicking the photo right now. So now we are going to start. And guys, first of all, my name is Swareena. And quickly, I just want you guys to introduce yourselves in the chat section. Just tell me your name and what kind of art form you are currently doing. Like, let me know in the chat right now. Hi, Anupama. Hi, Shrestha. Also, tell me what kind of art form you're doing, right? Script writing,
Name
writing,
and the art that you want to, excel in, or else show yourself
songwriter,
in.
actor, currently doing content writing, writing. Okay,
Attract, yeah,
writing,
writing, code.
brush pen, calligraphy, and quilling. Great. Hi. Hi, Himanshi. Yeah, right. I'm an engineer. There's an engineer here. Okay. Okay. Then we have Shrestha, photography, acting, script writing, story, poetry. Teacher and writing is your hobby. Sonali. Hi, Sonali. YouTube and a business student. We have engineer and we have business students here. Nice to meet you, Deepthi. And okay, so guys, right. Okay, guys, quickly just let me know and then I will just start. Script
Hmm.
writing. So we have basically writers, basically script writers here, and we have a singer, I think, calligraphy. So okay, right. So I just want to know my audience, like who all is watching this right now. What are your we have computer students? Okay, this is interesting. Okay, nice. So we'll start now. I think I have a idea of what of the audience right now. Yeah. So guys, just give me a minute.
Presence analysis.
I'll share my screen with you.
Sorry, no, sorry. Just before that, let me give a brief introduction about PixCorto from our side.
Yeah.
Uh, it's a ritual for us. From
Yeah.
generations, we
Okay.
are doing this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is the thing. I think I can see many people, many repeated audience for us here, but few are, they came for the first time to this PixCorto sessions. So for those who are new and for those who are old, it is just an updated version. Every day we update our, terms and conditions, PixCorto. So the common tagline is PixCorto is, it's an artist network. Through this PixCorto, we are trying to build an artist network where we want people to get together, gather together, discuss together, and learn from each other. It's like again the barter system. No money, nothing else. It's barter system. You know something, you teach us. We know something, we teach you. That's how we are going to grow. Like we show some people, like see here we have few people. Kiran Mehta, he is one of the persons who gave me an idea to collaborate with Swareena. Here it is like barter system. I have my work and he has some contacts, so he gave me his contacts. So in return, I don't know when what I can give you, Helen. In near future, maybe we can do something together. So see, in PixCorto, this is what we do. We collaborate with artists. We let people learn whatever they want at their interest, like their interest and what do they want to do, and all this thing. Our mission is so simple that we want people to learn that basic skills. If you are feeling like you want to enter into that industry, the basic skills that you want to understand, that you should learn, they are the things that we are going to supply you here. That is the, of course, that's the market demand, the basic skills, and we are going to supply you here. So that is it. I think Swareena got her version of PixCorto too. Uh, I hope so. So let's see. I'm handing over the host to her. Once again, before going, before handing over this session to Swareena, I would like to request to people like, see, this is a 1 hour session, mostly 1 hour session. So please be patient throughout the session and keep your video open because our host is as very common person like us. So she cannot teach to the walls. I think so. If
Yeah,
you are
that
going to open your faces, if we can see your faces, we can see your expressions. That gives us boost. That is what we expect from you too. Nothing more, nothing less. Just your presence. Uh, so everyone, please turn on your videos throughout this session, and please keep your session your video on, but audio mute so that Swareena can uninterruptedly tell her views, present her views. If you have any doubts, she'll give you time for every 10 slides or something. She'll give you time to discuss, to ask doubts and all. And apart from this interval doubts, you'll have a question and answer session at the end of the session. So that is the thing. And if you have a few works or something, or else if you want to leave the session, inform us in that inbox session once and then leave. Don't leave just like that. It will create a bad impression. People whoever are present here, the other people, they feel like are we can go and we can come. This is like this is something like what do you call it? YouTube. This is not YouTube class or something. So we want interaction kind of thing. So this is the second request that I'm putting, and third request is what do you call? Ask as many doubts as possible, at every and what do you call at every point. So three requests. Okay, Kanchan Ashwani would rejoin as soon as possible. Session sometimes. So that is fine. That is fine. Those who go and come because of network issues, that is fine. If you want to leave completely with your with your presence of mind, then please inform us once. That is the thing. So first thing is audio on, video on, audio off, and second thing is just inform us before you're going. And third thing is keep your questions noted and ask each and every question. Make this session fruitful. So giving this host thing to Swareena, I'm making you host. So you can give access to people who ever want to talk or something. Okay.
yeah, sure, sure.
Okay then. Uh,
Yeah.
Session can be started. I'm muting myself. Thank you everyone.
So guys, we are just now going to start right now. No more delays. Just please switch on. It will be great if you can switch on your videos. If you cannot, it's okay. Now we're going to start. So first of all, I'm Swareena Aggarwal. You already know that by now. And that's I will just give me a second. Mm. Guys, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So now, basically, this session is about personal branding and how artists can personal brand themselves. So, to understand first what is a personal brand, you have to have a good understanding of what is a normal brand. So, we'll start with that. So, but before that, you already know this is in collaboration with PixCorto. PixCorto is in community for artists, so do check them out. Now, this is all what we are going to cover in this session today. First, what is a personal brand? Why you should build a personal brand? What are the three features of a good personal brand? The essentials of starting a personal brand, and there is going to be one bonus at the end that I'm going to cover. So, now before we start that, why should you listen to me? Why do my views matter? So I have worked with few of traditional brands out there. Traditional brands are the normal brands that are out there, and they do not incorporate personal branding. But I have worked with them. I have, helped them in content creation, and I know what problems they basic face. And right now, I have two clients with whom I'm working. I'm helping them in personal branding, and I understand like what all goes in personal branding. I've invested my time, about an year's time in learning about personal branding. What from the greatest gurus out there, the mentors out there. I've learned a lot from them, and that's what I'm going to share. I can't share everything, but these are the things, the basic things that you would need as an artist. I'm not going to cover in deep because as an artist that it won't apply to you, but yes, it will, the things that I know will help you. So now let's understand what's a brand. So guys, a brand is basically an identity. It's for any company, any business, its identity is called a brand. The value it delivers is the brand, and the promise of delivering that value is what a brand stands for. So okay, guys, before we continue any further, can I know what are your views on a brand? How do you define a brand? Can you just type it? Name that shows up, what shows what we do. Okay, everyone's okay. Value creation of the product and perceived value. Okay, that's great. Yeah, so guys, this is what a brand is. A brand is not just an identity. It's not just a logo, and not just what people show. It's the value the brand upholds from something that like a signature. Yeah, but so much more than that along with that. Okay, so now I'm gonna continue. So yeah, wait. Yeah. So, guys, a brand is the identity and the value that a business upholds. Now, a personal brand is putting uh, you as a person. I'm not talking about your art, but you as a person. It's center of branding. It's not a logo anymore. It's not any other thing in the center. It's you. Your face has to go up there. That's what personal branding is. When you are creating your content, when you're branding yourself in your art, your face, your identity, it all has to go up there, and that's what personal branding is. Now, one thing that you need to understand is that people think traditional branding is doing all good. Okay, there are many thousands of traditional brands out there that do not incorporate personal branding that are doing good. But then what is the need of personal branding? Guys, here's the thing. People can only connect with people. They cannot connect with the identity. They cannot connect with a non-living thing. They want people to build a connection. And to build that connection, a person has to be out there. And that is the importance of a personal brand. The other reason that I think people should tap into personal branding is because it is much more easier to do. For starting a business from scratch and to build a brand for a business, it's so much difficult. But if you are doing personal branding, you are the brand, and it gets so much easier to build a brand when you are doing it as a person. So that's how powerful personal branding is. It helps people to connect to you, and it helps you to create a brand easily. Now, I want you to read this. I want you to write this. If you have a pen and paper, write this. If you don't, type that in the comments. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust. I mean, I want you to repeat this to yourself right now. People, okay, and one more thing, I just want to put this up. Before I'm going to say things like buy, even if you're not selling a product, if you're just building a brand, you're still asking for people for their attention. You're asking them for their likes. You are asking them for giving their time to you. So that is also a kind of transaction. You're asking them of their attention, so that's buying. So whenever I refer to the word buying here, take it in that way. So now when you want people to give you some attention or even buy something from you, you need them to trust you. But they won't trust you if they don't like you, and they won't like you if they don't know you. So the first thing that personal branding does is it helps people to know you, so they can ultimately trust you, and they can then a transaction can then happen. That's the need of a personal brand. Now you will ask, when I just covered keep there are traditional brands out there, they are also doing very good. But the thing is, they understand the importance of a personal brand. They know that personal branding is important, and that's why they're incorporating it in their businesses. Guys, do you understand that you have seen these campaigns? They are brand ambassadors. For example, consider L'Oreal Paris. They have Aishwarya Rai. I think it's Aishwarya Rai. They have Aishwarya Rai as their brand ambassador. There are so many brands out there that contact celebrities and they ask them to be a brand ambassador for them. The reason is that they want a person to represent their traditional brand, because they know that people will only connect with the people. Yes, it's a marketing strategy, but along with that, it's also a branding strategy. Now, other thing that they do is they do influencer marketing, that they reach out to influencers and they ask them to promote their products. Again, it's again personal branding. Now what they're doing is that reaching out to personal brands out there, and they're asking them to promote their business. So that's how they're tapping into personal branding. The other thing that few businesses are doing is that the CEOs are showing their faces now. There was a time when we didn't know कि इतने बड़े-बड़े brands का who were the CEOs, who were the founders. But now we know because these people are coming out. Do you know Amazon, the CEO of Amazon is Jeff Bezos. He did a campaign in India a few years back, where he came out. He was delivering in from kirana shops. He was literally delivered products from kirana shops to a what to people, and it was a personal branding stunt, because he was trying to personal brand himself and build a brand for Amazon. Now, before we go any further, let's understand what a personal brand is not. We have Instagram influencers, and we have other influencers out there, and these influencers have millions of followers, thousands of followers on Instagram. But the problem is they are not a personal brand. They are not a brand because they have no mission. They are just out there. They have followers, but they have no mission. If they have no mission, that means they are not delivering any value. If not they are not delivering any value, that means they do not have any brand. So first thing that you need to understand is the number of followers doesn't matter. It's okay if you don't have thousands of followers on your Instagram, because it doesn't matter. You need to have a small following. I mean, it's good if you have a big following, that's great. But even if you have a small following, you need them to trust you to have a brand. That's all. Now, what a personal brand should be. These are the three important pillars of a personal brand. And again, I want you to write these three things down: authenticity, transparency, and visibility. Guys, write it down in the chat box. If you don't have a pen and pencil right now, just write this: authenticity, transparency, visibility. Authenticity means that you are authentic. You are not putting up a fake face in front of people in your personal brand. Transparency means you are transparent about how things go behind the scenes. You're not lying to them, you are not deceiving them in any way. That's transparency. And then we have visibility. Your brand should be visible to people. You can you and that is why you need to be out there. You have to let go of that shyness, and you have to put yourself out there to personal brand yourselves. Now, what are the three important pillars, I mean the three essentials for a personal brand? So consider this as an iceberg. Now, this is what people see. This is what is out there that they cannot see. People see how your personal brand is. That's the visibility. But what people don't see is the strategy behind it and the self knowledge. That is your knowledge about yourself, your knowledge about your brand. And these two, strategy and knowledge, are the more important factors. Now, let's start with self knowledge. So, self knowledge is important. Why? It's your brand. It's people are going to see you in your personal brand. And that is why you should have a clear understanding of what you are putting out to people. So, you have to do three things now. You have to define yourself. What's your brand? What's your personal brand all about? You have to understand that. Second, you have to understand your vision and mission. Now, for an artist, a vision and mission can be anything from any basic vision or mission. You need to have it. You need to understand where you want to go after 5 and 6 years, and you have to understand your message. What is it? What message do you want to give out to people? Okay. Now, for this, we have three things. If you want to understand your if you want to understand yourself, you need to answer these three questions. Who do you want to inspire? There's you have an audience. You have to understand what kind of audience do you want to aim to. You need to understand. The second thing you need to understand is how do you want to inspire them. You need to understand how what impact will you create. You need to do that. And third, what value is your art giving to them. Okay, here's where things get interesting. You're an artist, you're putting your art out there. Great. But what value are you giving to them? And I want to have a small discussion right here. Okay, guys, now what is the value that you will give to people? You are writing. You are most of the people are writers here. People, you're either you are we have singers, we have writers, we have people who do calligraphy. But what is it that you can give to people? Yes, they will like your art. Yes, they will like what you will write. But what how is it helping them? You need to understand that to build a brand, and you have to deliver it to people. Now, for for painters out there, for people who are doing calligraphy out there, it can be a bit tricky because what can you tell them? So there are two, three things that you can do, but I will just give you one example. For painters, how many of you have heard a term called ASMR? Has anyone heard? Let me know in the comments. ASMR. Anupama knows. Okay. No. Okay, so let me tell you, it's a very fairly new community right out there, and it's very interesting. If after this session I want you to Google it and read more about it. What and you will find a lot of videos on YouTube. It's very popular. Like this community is on rise right now. So ASMR it's a very complicated abbreviation, but a very simple thing. That is, it basically it helps in stress relief, and it also helps in sleeping and everything. It's a very good community that's just rising. So all the writers out there and all the people who do calligraphy or painters out there can check that out, and you can get some great ideas from there. So when you people write, when you write slowly, it creates a sound, or when you're writing on a rough piece of paper, that kind of sound creates tingles. So that's called ASMR. So you can maybe do something like that. That's just an idea that I had. So you can maybe incorporate that. Be a little creative of what you can do. Find things that people may want and just give it to them. Maybe you can teach people how to draw, how to write. So that's another way you can give value. Now, going back, now this is other thing that you have to do for understanding your brand. That is, you have to understand This is a SWOT analysis quadrant, and the strength and weakness part is what you can focus on. So I think it's pretty clear. The strengths are the things that you are good at. Weaknesses are the things that may you need to improve. Opportunities and threats are more of an external factor. You may not focus on this right now, but for understanding your brand, you need to focus on strengths and weaknesses. Maybe you are a good writer, that's your strength. But maybe you are not so good at blogging. Maybe you don't know much about digital marketing. Maybe you do not know much about branding. So that's your weakness. So start to, grab your strengths and improve your weaknesses. That's what you have to do. And for that, you need to know what they are. So start understanding that. Do a SWOT analysis for yourself. The other thing is your USP, your unique selling point. What is the one thing that you do that the others can't? The good news is building a personal brand gives you a USP itself. When you are a personal brand, no one can copy you. So that's a USP right there. But if you want something more, something other than your personal brand, if you need another USP, you have to be creative and find that. Maybe you can write in a way that other people can't. Maybe you are writing about something that people don't usually write. That's your unique selling point. So a unique selling point is important because there are thousands of people out there who will be writing, who will be singing, who will be doing the same thing as you. But the thing is, no one can do it in the same way that you do. Now comes the strategy. Guys, we just discussed there are three things that are in building a personal brand. The second thing is strategy. Now this is where things get interesting. Now I want to know a little bit, and I want people to tell me how many of you have a website. Whatever you do, how many of you have a website for yourself? It doesn't need to be a custom domain. Even if you have a blog, just let me know in the messages, do you have a website or not? No, still thinking. Yes, I do. No, still in making. Okay. I have WordPress blog. That's great. Okay, it's okay. If you have a if you have a website, if you have a blog, that's okay. Actually, that's great because a lot of people don't. So all those out there who do not have a website, I would recommend you to go on WordPress right now. It doesn't have to be, you don't even have to pay for it. You don't need to pay for it right now. If when you're just starting out, just have a base for your brand. And I will tell you why it's important to have a website. So a lot of influencers, a lot of people out there, they have a social media presence and they have thousands of followers, but they do not have a website. The problem with that is your social media accounts or even the platform can just vanish in a day. TikTok has already gone. And hopefully, we hope Instagram doesn't go anywhere. We hope the other platforms don't go, but they can. And that is why you need to have a base of your own, a base that you can control. You cannot control the algorithm for Instagram, for all the other social media platforms out there, but you can control your own website. So that is why a website is important. So you need to have a brand base, that's your website. The other thing that comes in are these three factors which will drive people to your website. First, networking. This is one of the most crucial part of building a brand. You need to start networking with people. You need to go out there and connect with people who are just like you. The second is social media. I said social media is not reliable, but it is important because it will drive people to your website. The third thing is search engine. Now this is a little technical. This is where the things get a little technical. So I won't talk a lot about this because I know you most of the people right here they don't want to, they're not much, they don't know much about digital marketing. Maybe but yeah, I'm just going to talk on I will just scratch the surface today. So now let's start with networking. Guys, by now I hope you understand networking is important because you get to know people who are just like you. So how to start networking? LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the world's the biggest professional networking site. मतलब networking network, I guess. So you need to have a LinkedIn account for sure. It doesn't matter what if you are an artist, or it doesn't matter what profession you are in. You need to have a LinkedIn account, and you need to optimize it. And you need to start reaching out to people. You need to engage on LinkedIn and find people who are just like you and form connections with them. Second is our Facebook groups, and these are things. This is the Facebook group is one thing that a lot of people don't know, matlab don't leverage. Maybe they know about it. Maybe a lot of people are part of Facebook group, but you don't engage in it. You need to go on Facebook. You need to find groups that are similar to your what you are doing. If you're an artist, go find search for some group for artists out there on Facebook, join those groups and interact and engage on those groups. You That's one way of building network. The third thing is communities and programs. So there are a lot of communities for artists that are out there. Maybe there are courses, there are networking events, there are other events that happen out there that are just for artists. Maybe you might even know of some. So be a part of those events, go out there, show up, and join those events. Now, wait. Now, then we discuss social media. When you are on a social media platform, and as an artist, when you are creating your content, you need to choose a right social media platform. Now, how to choose your platform? I want to know from you people that what platforms do you use. Yeah. So guys, tell me something. How many of you are writers out here? I want you to tell me, what platform do you use? Instagram, Wix. Okay, for blogging, Instagram and YouTube, right? Instagram and Facebook, Instagram, Facebook, IG. Okay, so I see, and I conducted a survey before this workshop, and I realized a lot of people are using Instagram for writing. The problem with that is Instagram is the biggest network out there right now, but Instagram is more of a visual platform. And yes, there are captions in Instagram where you can write your content, but not a lot of people will stop and read it. And the visual platform is more about pictures and videos and reels. So if you have an Instagram platform, that's great, but that cannot be your main focus, for the reason that if you are a writer and you're writing long form content, a lot of people will not engage on that content. For the same reason is because the content on Instagram goes in form of pictures, and a lot of people won't stop to read the long form content in those pictures. They might, but the chances are they won't. So you need to choose the platform that you use wisely. So if you're a writer, you should be focusing more on your blog and use the Instagram to drive people to your blog. So maybe you can post a small snippet from your whole content you write, and then give a link to people to go to your blog. You cannot solely focus on Instagram. The other thing I that saw that people are using YouTube as a social media platform. Now, the problem with YouTube is, again, it's a video based platform. People are and it's not even a social media platform, it's a search engine. YouTube is a search engine. So the problem with that is that people are going there to watch videos. So how you're going to show them your content, which is mostly based on writing? Maybe you're narrating what you write. Maybe you're showing some event that you spoke on. But again, the problem is that YouTube does not focus on writing. So other platforms that you can focus on is Medium is a great platform for artists. Maybe you can join these communities on Medium where you can even get paid for writing. You can go on you can use Quora. You can answer doubts for people. You can even use Pinterest to drive people to your blog. Pinterest is a social bookmarking site, by the way, but it is very helpful to drive people to your site. But as I said, you need to understand, all these social media platforms, or all the YouTube or Pinterest, all these sites are there for one purpose only. They will drive people to your website. That's it. You should leverage these social media platforms, but your focus is your website, one your brand base. The other thing that you have to focus on other than your art form is your audience. You have to understand where your audience is. So for example, you are creating content for young audience. Your audience is from the younger age bracket. But if you are posting that content on Facebook has the most of the audience on Facebook is a more from it's much older ages than maybe you want to target to. If your art form, maybe what you are writing or whatever you are creating, if it's targeted towards younger audience, and so there's no point of posting that on Facebook. But if it's focused towards older audience and you're posting it on Instagram, again, it's no use, because Instagram is mostly used by audience that are in the younger age bracket. So you have, these are the two fronts that you need to focus on while you choosing your right platform. And the thing I prefer is that you focus on two main social media platforms, and understand them properly and leverage it to the maximum value. Yes, you can have other social media platforms too, but two platforms should be your main focus, so that your focus is not divided. Otherwise, if you're working on too many platforms at a time, it will just become hectic. And you as a alone person, if you're working solo right now, you cannot focus on too many places. I tried and I could not. This is the main reason of focusing on two main platforms, that it's not doable by one person alone. Now, let's talk about these platforms. Instagram is more of a visual platform, as I just said, and it targets more on younger audience. And what the audience out there are either these young people or the brands who are trying to build their brand value. So if you're using Instagram, if your art form is in congruence with Instagram, then what should you do? Understand something, that a lot of people are now using Instagram is like the one of the most widely used platform out there. And for the same reason that a lot of people are using it, the reach on Instagram is low. If you're posting your content in form of photos, if you're posting IGTV videos, or if you're posting Instagram videos, it won't do that good, because now the reach for Instagram is dying. Facebook's reach is dead. Facebook has like, it doesn't has any reach. For Facebook, you can't Facebook cannot be relied on for reach. Instagram is on the verge of getting there right now, but thanks to its new features, like for example, abhi they just got reels back. So the reach for reels is high. So you should focus on new features that are coming on Instagram. So if you're a painter, focus create content that can be presented in form of reels and use that. Now the other thing is, yeah, this is Facebook. Yeah. So as I said, Facebook's organic reach is dead. What Facebook is good for right now, how is it making any profit, is through ads. Businesses are posting their ads on Facebook, and that's how Facebook is getting money, and that's how and people are getting reach on Facebook. They are paying money. This is paid reach. If you want to do that, you can, but if you don't, then Facebook is not good right platform for you. And as I said, the audience is most of the elderly people. So if the only way that you should be leveraging Facebook right now, if it's the Facebook is not the right platform for you, is for groups. And the other thing is you should do is make a page for your brand on Facebook and link it to your Instagram. That way, all the posts or updates you put on Instagram will go directly on Facebook. So that way you don't have to divide your focus on Facebook also. You can use Facebook as a marketplace, because their Facebook marketplaces has just come up, and ads if you want to do that. Now let's talk about more of a it's just getting the number of users are just getting increasing now. So it has a great reach because the the users are there, but the platform has not saturated as of now, and it is more of a professional network. So for artists, if you're writing content that you can post on LinkedIn, that can help people, that's the way you should be using LinkedIn. And as I said, as it's even written, it relies on great content. So you just posting your work out there won't cut it on LinkedIn. You have to provide value, and you have to provide it in form of text, because LinkedIn's algorithm, it does not really support photos. It supports text and it supports videos. So you need to focus on text content that can provide good value. And again, one thing that LinkedIn is for, it's networking. So start doing that. Network on LinkedIn. The third, another platform is Twitter. Now the problem with Twitter is it does not allow long form content. LinkedIn is good for microblogging, that is you can only write small pieces of content. The other problem with Twitter is that not many people are active out there. I mean, I've even in the survey I've conducted, I realized not many people are using Twitter. Even I have a Twitter account, but I don't use it daily. Twitter is not such a popular platform in India. So if you are posting updates in Twitter, that's good, but it cannot be your main platform if if people are not going out there and using LinkedIn. It's good for posting industry updates. So maybe there is a good update out there, you can post it there. But growing on Twitter is a little difficult, and even I don't know, a lot of people cannot figure out, even for the people I know, my mentors, a lot of them out there, they can't really figure out Twitter. So yeah, while posting on Twitter, use images. The third thing was search engine. YouTube is a search engine. As I just mentioned, YouTube is not a social media platform. People, when they go on a search engine, they search for stuff. They're not, they're not just there for scrolling through the videos. Yeah, people binge watch on YouTube, that's also true there. But people, when they search on Google, the Google gives them result in form of videos. Those are the YouTube videos, and that's how you are going to be found by people. So you have to make sure that the content that you're posting out there, it helps people. So you can't just post a photo of maybe something that you drew. You have to do something like how you have to teach people on YouTube how to do this, how to do that. That's the point of YouTube. It helps people to find answers, and you need to provide them the answers. That's how you're going to grow on YouTube. So answer the understand what people are searching for, and answer those queries for them. The third thing that we discussed, guys, was that in that chart we just saw, there was people are directed, when they go on your website, they will be directed to a product. You need to have a product to monetize your art form. That's what people are going to buy at the end. So what all can you offer? So you have used your social media to get people attention. You have directed them to your website. They have read your content. They liked it. But now what are you going to do with them? Now you have to direct them to your products. Now what products can you sell? So now it again depends on what form of art form that you have. It depends on your creativity, what products you can come up with. But these are the basic four things that people do. So either they offer their services. If you're a writer, you can offer your content writing services. If you are an artist, maybe you can reach out to people to get to in you can maybe you can enter the gifting industry. So people like to give gifts, and people are crazy about gifts, so you can enter that industry and provide these gifting services to people. You can gift your art form to these cafes out there. They're always looking for good uh, posters to put up in their ambience. So maybe you can maybe you can sell your whatever you draw or whatever you write to them. Other thing that you can do is you can create courses. If you have been doing your if you have been doing your art form for a long time, you will know tricks that other people don't. There will be always people out there who won't know what you know. So maybe you can create courses on what you know and sell those courses to the people. The third thing that you can do is write books or ebooks on what on your expertise and sell those to people. The fourth thing is merchandise. A lot of brands, personal brands do that, but yeah, it will take to reach a level where people will want to buy your merchandise. But yeah, that's one of the things that people do. So now, visibility. Visibility is the top part of the iceberg we saw. This is how people will view you. Now, how to make sure you are accelerating on this visibility criteria? You will have your social media platforms, you will have your websites, but you have to optimize them so that people can find them. You know, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, people will, when they search for anything, they will find you when they you have optimized your content for them to be found. For example, your Instagram bio, if it does not include the keywords, the the kind of artist you are, the kind of things that you are doing, if your bio does not sum that up, people will not understand your brand, people will not trust your brand. So you have to you have to optimize your Instagram profiles, you have to optimize your LinkedIn profiles and any other network that you're using. Focus on optimizing your profiles. The second thing you have to do is you have to deliver value. I know I've been talking about delivering value throughout the session, but this is so crucial, guys. If you don't deliver value, people won't trust you, and if people won't trust you, they won't buy from you. Okay, this is a kind of a small test that I'm going to take right now. Guys, I told you the three important things that a brand should have. What are those three things? Just comment in the messages. What are the three things a brand should have? The three pillars of a good brand: authenticity, authentic, okay, visibility. What is the third one? Transparency. Great. These are the three most important uh, pillars of a good brand. And what, and can anyone repeat that statement? People buy from people who they, what were the three things? Who they trust, like, trust, know, like, and trust. People buy from people who they know, like, and trust. So if you are not delivering value, they won't they won't trust you. To make them trust you, you need to make them like you. You need to make them know you. Guys, I want you to understand. I literally mean it. Write this statement down. People buy from people who they know, like, and trust. Write it on a paper right now. Now, guys, we have talked about visibility. Now I have a question for you right now. And with this, we are going to, we are coming towards the end of the session, and then you people can ask your doubts, whatever you have. Now, before that, the third thing you have to do is you have to show up. Whenever there are networking events, whenever you are on a platform, maybe on Instagram, you have to use those platforms to show up, to to be in the vision of people. People have to see you everywhere. So use your stories, use Instagram stories, use reels, use everything that you have, leverage them so that people are spending more time with you. Interact with them, because again, they will interact with you, when they will spend time with you, they will come to trust you. So interact with your audience. Now, guys, will you take an action? And this is a question that's important, because it doesn't matter what all we discussed, Abhi. Are you guys willing to take an action? I will finish this webinar after the Q&A session, and it will be over, and then you guys will be back to your life. But what will you do about your brand? So are you guys willing to take an action? Are you guys willing to do some groundwork on yourself? And with this, guys, I come to my bonus. I want you guys to understand your brand better, and for that I need you to do a proper analysis of your brand. And no, I'm not trying to sell anything here. Don't think that way. I'm just giving this bonus to you for free. I want you guys, the one actionable step that I want you to do right now after this session is I want you to do that SWOT analysis. I want you to answer those 3 questions that I asked. How do you want to inspire people? Who do you want to inspire? And what is the value you're going to give them? I want you to answer these 3 questions for your brand. I want you to do a SWOT analysis for yourself. And I'm going to share a small I'm going to share this video with you. I'm going to share this link with you that will give you a small worksheet. So this worksheet will be and for understanding yourself, that will help you to understand your brand better. So I will put up that link in the messages right now. But before that, guys, I think I will put that link abhi in a few minutes. I think we are good to start with the Q&A section. So guys, if you have any doubts, start asking them. I'm going to answer them right now, and then I will give you the link to that sheet.
You can open up your video and unmute yourself, then you can ask. Anyone has any doubts, they can unmute themselves and turn on the video and you can ask.
Okay. How to attract people, buyers to your account. Okay, how to attract them to your accounts. First of all, as I just said, you need networking. You need to find people. You have to, go out to them, talk to them, and just don't go out there and start talking to them about your brand. You have to explain, you have to interact with them on a personal level. Don't just go out there and start selling your brand. Talk about them, make them feel valued, have a, a clear a conversation with them, authentic conversation with them. Don't just talk about your brand, and then slowly you can introduce your brand to them. That's one way to attract people. What other thing that you can do is you have to deliver value. That again, deliver value. When you will deliver value to people, people will be coming to your accounts to see that your content will be pushed on these social media platforms. People will see that and people will come to your accounts. Okay. um, can you explain me again aesthetic? What was that? Can you explain to me again aesthetic and okay, it's authenticity, transparency, and visibility. Those are the 3 things that are the 3 pillars of a personal brand. Authenticity is how authentic you are. It's how you don't have to show a fake face out there. You have to be yourself. Transparency, don't lie to people, don't deceive people, show them what's happening behind the scenes. And then visibility, you have to show yourself. These are the 3 important pillars of a personal brand. Now what should be the ideal frequency of putting a post on platform like IG, FB, YouTube for singers? Okay, ideal frequency, this is a very controversial thing because people have different views on it. Some people say you should be posting 3 times a day in Instagram. And some people even say that 3 times a week is enough. I personally stick to 3 times a week, because first of all, doing a 3 times a day is not possible for me, because that's it's not posting on Instagram and platforms is not the only thing I do. So first of all, it depends upon how much can you afford to do. Secondly, it also, the one thing as I said, you have to make sure that you are giving some good value. So you cannot just post anything. You have to give something valuable out there. So it depends how much time does it take for you to create that kind of value. When we talk about time, that how what are the right times to post on a platform, it again differs from platform to platform. But and the thing is that you have to post on a platform at the time when your audience is active. So do a research, find on Google at what time your audience is most active on these platforms, and use that time to post your content. Then Reliance is a big brand. How do you think it's providing value to the people or inspire others? See, Reliance is a big brand, and again, as I said, key value is important. So they have their services that they provide to people. That's the value that they are giving. They have, they have all these. Reliance is a big brand, and then they have sister brands. So that's the products that they provide is the value that they give, and how they inspire people. Well, the services, how the when they provide their products, it creates, it provides people some form of value. That value is what inspires people. So that maybe inspiring is not just creating a sense, an emotion. It's also how you're making the other people life easy. So if your product, if whatever you provide to people makes their life easy, that's how you provide a value, and that's how you inspire others. Now, already have an Instagram and Facebook pages and website, but can't sell artwork in these times. What when you can't meet people? Okay, okay. So yeah, so you see, to sell your products when you can't meet people, again, you can't sell something when people don't trust you. So first of all, providing value. Again, I don't know how many times I've said that. I mean, okay. Anyway, so you first of all, you need to have a proper strategy. Yes, you have a website, but again, you need the right strategy to drive people to those websites. And okay, a lot of marketing tactics also come into play. But as I said, I can't the whatever all the aspects of marketing cannot be covered in a 1 hour session. Like, there are too many things out there. Maybe you need to consult people who know more about this. And you need people who can manage your internal business, how to build traffic. That all is it's a very technical thing. You need to have a proper understanding on how that works. So yeah, having these Facebook, social media platforms and websites, it's important, but it's not enough. There's some other work that you have to put in. So could you tell us from where to exactly start and which process to follow? Okay. Well, from where to exactly start, as I just said, the first thing you have to do is understand your brand. You have to do an analysis of what you're going to give, what you're going to do. So do a SWOT analysis for yourself, for your brand. That's where you start. The next step will be to build a presence for yourself. So go on to social media profiles, optimize them to show what you're actually doing. Have a website, and build a product, maybe, if you want to do it right now, or just start providing value to people. Also, guys, one more, I think I should say right now, building a brand takes time. It won't just happen in 1 month or 2 months. It will take time. You have to be patient with it. It will happen, but you have to be very patient, because growing your website is not very easy. So be patient about it. If I perform more than if I use more than three nee, if I you perform more than three art forms, then should I have different pages for each one? Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so here's the thing. If you use more than three pages for each one, the problem again, how you are only one person right now. You cannot focus on these three pages, because you will have to, interact on all the three pages, and that's just too much to do, firstly. Secondly, maybe find a way to integrate the three art forms. You may think of something, be a little creative, and try to link them. And if you cannot do that, then you have to focus on one of them. I'm quite sure that's not the answer you want to listen, but you will have to focus on one art form if you can't link them in any way. But yeah, focus having three different pages for each one, that is, I'm quite sure that's not very doable if you're one person working on it. Okay. Should one straight away jump into making original songs, or first go for covers? Because personally, I don't like making covers, but I have been told I should put up covers. Okay. Making an original. Okay, I don't have much knowledge about the music industry, but I can say that, see, if you make a original song right now, straight away, I'm quite sure it takes a lot of investment. You will have to do it. You will have to like do a good job at it. Even if you're doing covers, you have to do a very good job at it. But when you're making an original song, the stakes rises. But when with covers, the stakes are pretty low. But when you're doing it a original song, you're putting your brand like and everything at stake. So people are right. You should start with covers. Maybe you can work on your original song also. But yeah, I would recommend you start with covers first. What about the seller platforms like Etsy? Yeah, you can use your use these platforms also to start selling your product. But as I said, you cannot control these platforms. I mean, how much these platforms push your products, and maybe even if these platforms will be, still there, you don't you cannot be sure of that. So use them, definitely use them for selling your products, but again, have a base for yourself. That's important. Can we get a PPT or recording? Okay, that I will have to see if that can be arranged. I will if it can be arranged, I will make that happen. So yeah, so again, so Sai is right. So yeah, maybe can, if we can upload it, it will be uploaded in YouTube and you can access it. uh, can you tell Ritu to connect her in? Yeah, okay, I will do that. Okay, any more questions, guys?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Initially, I had three questions, but Mr. Himanshu asked one of those. You said that LinkedIn is, the platform for professional things and all. The best platform that we could use to brand ourselves and all.
Yeah.
So I am a software engineer by profession. So
Okay.
my LinkedIn is completely filled with software, certifications and the projects I've did and the things I've attended for, everything like that. And I also write. I write poetry, I write short stories, and I.
Okay.
So this is the brand I want to promote. But
You
my
want
LinkedIn is already filled with that stuff. So what can I do to, balance these two things?
okay? So okay, you are by profession you're a software engineer. So
Yeah.
on so what all kind of content do you post right now?
On
Do you
LinkedIn.
post? Do you write post on LinkedIn based on software engineering? Do you post the content out there?
Yeah, I do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, there are things in LinkedIn, like in professional things to post in LinkedIn, right? The achievements we have
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the things we do all. Yeah. So those things I do post. They keep my LinkedIn updated very regularly because it's more of a professional approach. And,
yeah,
whenever we go to interviews or anything else, they first, check out our LinkedIn profiles to make sure what we did and all that.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, it is always updated with software stuff. And now that I started these things, and now that you have told me that LinkedIn is the best way to achieve these things, so what can I do here to balance both?
okay, the first thing is you need to tell people that you are also in art. You are writing and you are in some form of art. So first thing is you have to mention it in your profile. So use, your first thing you need to do is improve, mention that in your about section. You have below your name, you have a small section where you mention all the things that you are doing. So after
Mhm.
mentioning your professional whatever you do professionally, you can write after, so after a slash or some after putting, you can write I'm an artist and this is what I do. So now when people are visiting your profile, they know you are a software engineer, but also you're doing that. And to, reflect your personality, use your LinkedIn banner, use the banner photo, maybe upload something there, post something artistic there, and mention all those things in the summary about section. You have a whole section for summary or for yourself. Use that section to tell people. First talk about your professional life, and then use a paragraph to, tell people what you do in for as in for your writing. Other thing, what all should you post? uh, you can post updates, what all your job updates that you have, and then post about, if you are writing something, you, have good, create the content for your even for your professional in software engineering. If you're doing something, if you have a new update, create a good content. You are a writer, right? So you know how to write good content. Use that thing to write content for your software engineering post. And create content that interests people. Don't just post job updates out there, or don't just post life updates. Content like this happened in the software industry, or this is the new update. So these are the posts you can do for software engineering. And for your artist background, you can post things like, this is for write a good piece of content. Whatever you write, you can post it on LinkedIn just in a small form. So that's what you can do. Okay, we have LinkedIn optimization. Yeah, you should do LinkedIn optimization. That's important. So I am beginner in doing mandala artwork. So should I go for new Insta page, or should my network and all my and show up my network, or should I learn it completely then start it? Pranjali, I will say that you start right now, because see, learning is something that will go on life. You will always have something to learn new, whatever you are doing. So start posting it, and document your learning process. So use Instagram stories, reels, and I will, again, as I said, I will recommend using reels because they are getting more reach. So use that to showcase what you are doing. So even if you're learning, you can put out a reel that this is what I'm learning, this is what I learned, this is what I did. So don't wait, start posting your learning process on Instagram right now, and whatever platform that you're using. I'm studying MBA, and I am interested in script writing to make a personal brand. Okay, how to make personal brand. You're okay. So see, you're studying MBA. You are still you're a student, as because you're still studying right now. So on your side you want to make a personal brand in script writing. So first of all, you know how to write scripts. I mean, if you have learned it, if you already have a talent for it, that's great. So what can you do to make a personal brand? Again, start documenting what you're doing. That's one of the best ways, because when people will see you documenting what you are doing, first of all they will get inspired. Second thing that will happen is that people will start to know you better, because you're literally documenting your journey. So when you take people on a journey, the journey that you went through, that's one way that you make people trust you. So start posting that stuff on social media, and then use that as to drive people to your base. Any other question, guys?
Yeah, I've got one more.
Yeah.
So as you said, Instagram is not, reliable, and instead concentrate on your blog. And I have actually tried that when I first started my Instagram account. I mean, first I had a blog, only blog, and then I also created an Instagram page, and then I started sharing snippets of my posts, whatever I write, and then I also try to promote them with the monetary ways, like directing them to the website. But it was a huge flop. Like, if 1,000 people looked at the post, not even 10 people were directed to the link. The 10 people did not click on the link.
Exactly.
But when I promoted it, just when I posted the whole thing and then promoted it, there were lots of people who followed me, who liked the content, and who started following it.
Right. And yeah, see, the
Yeah.
thing is, I
So
understand what you're saying, that when you posted a snippet of content, not many people were directed to your blog, but when you post the whole content, people went to your blog to read it.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what.
yeah.
Okay. So see, when you're posting a small snippet of content, the thing is, people also need to understand what you're writing. So if you post a quote or a very small piece of content, yeah, you're saying something?
They were not directed to the blog. They started following my Instagram account because I've started posting the whole thing. So instead of the growth of the blog, my Instagram is growing. There is
Yeah.
no way the blog is growing.
Yeah. So see, what you should do is, posting on Instagram, you have to provide them value. First of all, if you are writing something, give them something that they can read, that they understand, that they like. That way that they will, want to follow you. But then you have to give them some incentive to go to your blog. So maybe you post your content in Instagram, then in a slider form, then read the full blog here. Maybe you stop your whole content that you post on Instagram mid sentence, and then say, read the whole blog here, link in the bio. They go to your bio, they go to your website, and they read the content. You have created traffic to your website. Okay,
Yeah. Thanks.
great. So guys, any more question? Welcome, Ishan. Yeah, no guys, thank you. You are sitting here and watching me. Okay, guys, any more questions? I think it has been 1 hour, so now I think it's time to end the session. So these are the this is the last time for you if you have some question. I guess they don't have any questions. So yeah, so guys, it was such a great time. Also, if you liked my the whole session, you can upload you can click a photo right now. You can upload it as a story, and you can follow me if you want to. I will give you the my link to my Instagram profile. If you want to follow me, you can follow me. If you want to contact me, I will also give you the link to my LinkedIn profile. And if you want to let me know, I will post the link here. I'll just post the link here. Okay. Also, guys, we have a feedback form. So you please let us know what was your take back from this session, and what all you might want to have a session in future. So if you want a future session, let us know how you like this session, and we'll get the feedback form sent to you. I will send you the my link to my LinkedIn and Instagram. Just give me a second. Okay, Sai has already done that. That's great. Yeah. So that's the feedback form, and that's my Instagram account link, and I will also give you the link for my LinkedIn, so you can contact me there if you want. So guys, if you want to contact me, and I think and please fill the feedback form so we know what you want to know in the future. If you want to, then we can do some other workshop and some other webinar in future. So yeah, that's great. Okay guys, fill the feedback form, and we'll end the session now.